Dakota, thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm super excited for you to pop on and just tell everyone a little bit about your experience with starting your business and working together. And I know for a lot of people who are working on starting a business, there's a lot of unknowns and wondering what it's like. And so I think it's really helpful if you can just share your experience and what it's been like. And so what I'd love for you to start with is just telling us a little bit about you and your business.
Yeah, so a little bit about me. So before I started my business, I was working as a personal trainer for a little over a year. That's kind of what I started with to start working with people.
Yeah.
But I also, in the past, I started my career as a paramedic and working in the medical field. And that's when I kind of decided that I wanted to shift my career path to something different, because I just felt like I wasn't helping people the way that I wanted to. I just saw a lot of chronic health issues, and we would just like give them medications and then move on, when I knew that there were so many other things that we could help people with. And so that's when I decided to go back to school, and I got my bachelor's in kinesiology, and then started the personal training. And then I was looking into health coaching for a while, and getting really excited to start my business. It took me a while to have that like belief in myself that I could have my own business. But the more that I was like working in the field, I was like, gosh, I feel like everywhere I go, I'm not able to do what I really want to do. It's like I'm stuck in this box and I have to do what they're telling me to do, rather than me being able to have like that freedom and creativity with helping people. So as far as my business, right now, I'm helping women lose weight. So that's something I struggled with in the past, and it's what really kickstarted me into wanting to change and make changes in my life. Obviously, I found out that the weight wasn't really the issue. There were so many other things that I needed to work through and overcome. But the weight loss was kind of where it all started and what motivated me to make changes. So that's what I'm helping women do. And I really focus on like getting them healthy and balancing stress so that the weight comes off naturally, and they're not having to like count calories and do all of that, which is a lot of work and not sustainable. Because I tried it once and it was not fun. So so that's kind of where I'm at.
Awesome. Yeah. And it doesn't work for most people, right? Which is why there's so many people that are still struggling. And I think I hear that so much from people that work in the healthcare field, that I think it's hard for a lot of us to find a place, like you said, to do what you really want to be doing, like what you're really passionate about, because most of us get in there wanting to like really help people and make this big difference. And when you have to kind of fit into the system, it's hard to find a way to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Perfect. So tell us a bit about where you were at, just like with your business, and what was going on for you before we started working together.
So I had just finished my degree. So I just graduated, and I had been planning for a couple of years on having you as a business coach, because I had been watching your videos, and
I love it.
But it just wasn't like the right time though. I wanted to finish everything, even though I was like, gosh, I know I don't need to finish my bachelor's to help people, but it was just so overwhelming to try and get that done. So I just wanted to finish it so I could focus on my business. So when I finally finished it, I was like, okay, I want to do this. And the reason why I wanted to do it was because I had no idea where to start. And when I started to try and sit down and think about things and brainstorm, I just kept getting stuck and overwhelmed, and I didn't know what was most important, and I didn't know what my ideal client was, or, who they were and what I'm supposed to be helping them with. So I was very lost in that, and very lost in the logistics of starting. Like, I was very worried about like, do I need an LLC? Do I need liability? Do I need to do all this? And I made it this huge thing in my head, when really it took me like hardly any time at all to set that up once I finally did it. So So yeah, when I first started, I mean, I really was from the beginning, when I just decided to sign up with you. I didn't want to beat around the bush. I knew that this was what I wanted to do. So trying to do it on my own, I knew that it wasn't going to happen if I was trying to do this on my own. And it was important to me. So I just was like, hey, let's just do this. Like, I'm all in.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I did. So
Yeah, I think that's super common. Like it's
yeah.
very overwhelming to start a business without getting any support because there's a million things you could be doing and you don't know
Uh-huh.
what to be doing or what order. Like there's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
So
perfect. So tell me a bit about really like what you've done through the time we've been working together. Like what's changed for you? Like, tell us a bit about where your business is at right now.
yeah, I mean, a lot. I feel like I've done a lot in the last, and I think it's been like 5 months now into it. And
Yeah.
I mean, I signed on 2 clients, which was huge. Like I didn't see that happening that quickly, and I was terrified, but now I'm almost finished with them. And well, I'm finished with one of them and almost done
Yeah.
with the other one. And they've just seen amazing results. And I would have never gotten to that point without this help, without your help, and like going through this program. So yeah, signed on 2 clients. I've grown my following significantly. I had like hardly any followers on Instagram, like 170, and now I'm over 800. So
Awesome.
it's pretty cool. And I'm getting people from my cold market now contacting me
Yeah.
for discovery calls. And yeah, it's just like I have overcome so much as well, like as far as my confidence and belief in myself. And I didn't think that I had a lot of that to work on because I had already done so much of it.
Uh-huh.
But I was surprised to see that I still had a lot to work on and things that I didn't know about. And overcoming that fear of videos and lives and contacting people and doing discovery calls, which I'm still kind of nervous about, but I'm definitely a lot better. Yeah, like just like pushing through and doing it anyway, even though it's super uncomfortable, has just been like, I don't know, just really good for me to do. And I've grown a lot because of that. So yeah, and I think it's just made me like, I don't know, like more resilient and just have more like belief in my abilities. Like,
Yeah.
it might be hard to do, but I know that I can do it. So yeah, and like I really like doing videos now, which I didn't think would happen.
Crazy how that works.
I prefer to do videos over writing.
Yeah.
So I'm working on my freebie actually right now. So I'm starting to get that end stuff set up.
Yeah.
And you said video was better to do. And so I'm like, sweet, because I don't want to write or format
Awesome.
anything. So I'm going to be doing a video, but yeah, so I feel like I've come a long way, and just like overall my personality and just growing as a person and learning so much.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that so much. Have you noticed like any specific places in your life where just kind of like going through this has maybe made any changes for you? I mean, I know you said like the confidence piece and stuff too, but have you kind of noticed any changes anywhere else or it kind of like rippling out into anything?
I would say, well, I'm married. I would say my relationship with my husband, just because he's very into like my business, and
Awesome.
he's like really excited about the whole thing. So he helps me here and there, and he's really into the health and fitness world as well. And so I think it's been good because, you know, I would have like trying to do stuff on my own, I would get overwhelmed and have like meltdowns. And he would be the person that I would talk to, and he'd be
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, like, why are you doing, he didn't really get it. And so now I'm just a lot more stable. I'm able to like problem solve easier.
Yeah.
So I'm not really having these like overwhelming like breakdowns like I used to have. And if something's hard, I'm just like, okay, I need to take a step back, and I deal with it on my own rather than trying to like go to him for help and support. It's like I can figure it out on my own. So that's been really good, I think, for us, to not like feeling that way all the time and having to reach for him. It's like I feel more independent, I guess, in dealing with my emotions. And so that has like been really good too.
Yeah, I love that so much because I think in the beginning, like starting an online business or like, health coaching, whatever it is, a lot of people don't really get it or understand what it is. They're like, is that a real thing? Like, you can't
Hmm.
really make money doing that, like all that stuff. And a lot of us look for support from the people in our life to maybe give us that confidence, and yet they don't really get it. And
Yeah.
so what ends up happening is like, you have to have that confidence in yourself first for other people to get on board. But a lot of us get stuck feeling like we need it from someone else first and we're not getting it. And then we're like, oh my gosh, other people don't believe in me and they don't believe that this can work. And it's like, you got to believe in yourself first and kind of have your own
Yeah.
path. And I think it's a big journey that a lot of people go on when it comes to starting their business. So that's huge.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. For sure. That is where I was having issues. And so, yeah, I'm just glad to be where I'm at right now with everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you be open to talking just like a little bit about some of the stuff you went through with Ideal Client? Because I think so many people go through this, and I think it would be helpful for people.
Yeah, do you want me to just explain like my like the problems I was having?
Yeah, just a little bit, because I think it's a really common one that people get stuck in. And if you, I mean, you can keep it short, you can talk about whatever you want, but just kind of how, I guess, kind of like the doubts around Ideal Client and wondering if it's right, and going back
Mhm.
and forth a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. So I initially decided on, because I wanted to just make the decision and not be stuck on stuff. So I decided, okay, I'll do, helping women with weight loss. But I also really wanted to help women with stress and anxiety. And so I was confused on how to do both of those things or how to combine them. So
Yeah.
for a while there, I kept trying to combine the two things and it wasn't making sense. And my messaging was kind of off. Like I just couldn't get clear on like what exactly I was helping women with,
Yeah.
because they're like, yeah, I'm helping them with stress and I'm helping them with weight loss, and I'm talking about all these different things but never relating it back to one specific thing. And so I just kept getting stuck and going back and forth. And the reason I think I was nervous about doing the weight loss, because I felt like I didn't fit into that world because I didn't have that much to lose.
Yeah.
And I kept seeing posts from people like needing to lose, they lost 50 pounds, or, I just see all this stuff in the weight loss world on Instagram. I just felt like I didn't fit in.
Yeah.
And so I just felt insecure about helping people. And I kept thinking that people were going to think, oh, she's helping women with weight loss. Well, she only had, 10 pounds to lose. Like she doesn't know what it's like. And so I had this like in the back of my head all the time. Um, and so that just that made it hard. And even, so I'm making things up in my head, that people aren't necessarily saying. And if they are saying it, like who cares? But so that kind of kept me stuck. And then I went back and I was like, no, like this is something I am really confident in because I know so much about it, and it is important. And I started to get really clear on my messaging and how like I want to incorporate the weight loss and health and stress. It comes into it, but the main goal is still the weight loss, because that's what they want ultimately. So I could still talk about all those things, but at the end of the day, I got to bring it into the weight loss. So I started like just with the messaging, really figuring that out. And then it got super clear. And when I got really clear, that's when I got my first consultation with somebody from my cold market. Just like 2 days of posting, like super clear exactly what I was doing. She
Yeah.
contacted me, and then I asked her, why she was inspired to talk to me. And that was one of the reasons, was like, she was very inspired by my messaging. And so it was like, okay, this is working. Like clearly I'm getting people. So yeah, so it was a journey, and I struggled for a while there, but now I feel like I'm like finally there and feeling confident in what I'm helping people with.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just know so many people go through the same thing. And I think just having you share that is really helpful. And because a lot of the same thing too, like feeling like you're a fraud because you don't look like
Mhm.
maybe how other people are, they're transitioning. You don't have this like big before and after picture you're going to post every
Yeah.
day, those types of things. and that you don't need that, and that if you can just show up authentically and share your story and your experiences, that there's people that are going to resonate it and are looking to work with someone exactly like you. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think just it happens a lot with people like picking that thing, and I think picking your niche is always like there's a lot of drama around it, and so
Yeah.
for everyone, and so I think it's helpful to share that, so thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Happy to
uh, Good. So last thing, like anyone who is working on starting a business, they're feeling stuck and they're not really knowing what to be doing, and let's say they're like pondering working with me, but they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know, I can probably do it on my own. Would you have any words of wisdom for those people? What would you say to them?
I would say definitely do it because you're gonna save so much time and in your mental energy and like feeling overwhelmed and stuff. Especially when it comes to the obstacles along the way. The mental roadblocks is really what the obstacles were for me. Because like I would feel like, okay, I know what I'm doing now, and then all of a sudden I would be like stuck in my head and not knowing like what to do and not even noticing it really. And then I would go through one of your modules and you would totally call me out, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, okay, she's like totally reading my mind here. And then I would be like, okay, now I'm back on track, like I know what to do now. So every time I kind of started getting stuck again, you would like get me back on track with one of your videos. And you just like knew exactly what I was thinking all the time, which is just crazy. Um, so I think that was really helpful. Yeah, you could try it on your own. I wouldn't want to. I think you're going to waste a lot of time and energy trying to figure it out on your own. This is something you've never done before. So if you've never done it, like, don't expect to just know everything. Like, reach out to people. And, also like, it's kind of humbling because, we are getting in the field of helping other health coaches not health coaches, we're helping other people as a health coach. They are investing in us to help them, and we believe that we have value. So we should be willing to also accept help from another person who can coach us through starting that business, starting your journey to helping other people. So it's kind of just like that domino effect. And I think like being okay with just getting help and reaching out to somebody else is something that's really good, just to help with your coaching skills as well. So not only was it good for the business, it was also really good for me learning how to coach other people and help other people. So I don't know, I just really benefited through the whole thing. And it was definitely worth it. And, I ended up getting 2 clients, so it kind of paid for itself. And like now it's just something that I know I can continue to do on my own, and I would have not have gotten here. I know I wouldn't have gotten here by myself. So yeah.
And you're just getting started. Like,
Yeah.
your business I always say it's a marathon, right? Like, it's not a sprint, and the beginning is the hardest by far. Like, it's
Yeah.
way harder than the rest of your business. So getting through that first like 6 months, and definitely that first year, the people who do that, like what's possible for you is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm super excited for you. And what about just kind of like your experience as far as being part of the group and the other people? Because you were amazing as far as like showing up and
Oh yeah.
people and stuff too. Do you want to share just like a little bit about that?
Yeah, no, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, I love the group setting. So I was afraid that I wasn't going to get enough with the group setting. I thought I really needed that one-on-one, but it was really beneficial to be able to be a part of a group with other health coaches who are going through the same thing. Because when you're going through, you kind of feel like a crazy person. Like, am I the only one thinking these things? And then, other people bring things up. You're like, oh, okay, I'm not the only one thinking these things. And so you just don't feel so alone as you're going through the process. And it's just really fun to connect with the other coaches as well, like outside of the group meetings, and be able to practice with them and kind of go through this whole journey with other people. So yeah, it was super beneficial. I'm glad that I did the group. And yeah, it was very, very fun. And I think it was fun to like help each other out too. Cause like I learn really well from like teaching other people. And so if we can, like when I'm able to do that, then I can like see, I guess I can see like, oh, okay, like they're getting stuck here. That's also where I got stuck.
Yeah.
And I can like work through it that way. So it's just, it's fun. And yeah, it's nice to make those connections as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think the group is amazing. I always have so much fun in there, and I think everyone in there is awesome. And I've seen, like, I used to work with everyone one-to-one, and now I do more group stuff, and I think people get even better results because you're surrounded by that like energy, and
Yeah.
it's helpful for sure. Like you said, you're like, you think like you're the only one struggling with this, and then you see
Mhm.
everyone else is struggling with the same thing. You're like, oh, it's not me. It's
Yeah.
not just me. I'm not crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really nice.
Definitely, definitely. Awesome. Any last words? Anything else you want to add in that we didn't cover?
Um, I don't think so. I mean, I think we covered a lot. I would just say like if your business is like really important to you and this is something that you can see yourself doing and you want to commit to it, like just do it. It's going to be worth the investment in the long run. And that's kind of where I was at. Like I knew that I was at the point where I knew I wasn't ever going to be happy working for somebody else. So I had a huge motivator to do this and push through all those hard times. So if you're at that place, like it's definitely just worth it to invest, and it will make up for it for sure. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think I've ever talked to anyone who was like, I wish I hadn't tried to start my business. Like, because you're always going to wonder even if you decide like you start your business and you decide it's not what you want to do, at least you know, versus always
Yeah.
wondering, what if I had tried it? What if, so
Hmm. Yeah.
you're brave for actually doing it and making it happen.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Dakota, for coming and sharing your experiences. I know it's going to be super helpful for everyone else as well. So I appreciate it.